Hello, everyone. Oh, I'm so excited. Welcome to the kickoff panel event for the Right Crowd 2022. And I am so very excited. For those of you that do not know me or this is your first time hopping on, hello, my name is Katelynn Rentería. I'm an independent author located in the Rio Grande Valley. And I am with two of some of my favorite people in the whole wide world. And I'm so very excited to start the Right Crowd off with them. So for those of you that have never seen The Right Crowd before, The Right Crowd is a virtual literary expo that I created in 2020. As the pandemic hit, a lot of authors, or everyone, stayed home for safety, for precautions. And while it was good for our health, it was, a hindrance to our human connection, right? We weren't able to go out and see loved ones, see friends. And for authors, some of our favorite things are being able to meet readers and meet writers and share our stories and that connection with reading and writing and the love of it. And so The Right Crowd was created so that way authors from all over, I know the three of us are not in the same city at all, but here we are, and we're going to be able to connect with the audience and with readers and writers and say hello. Hopefully you all will ask questions and we may answer them. So it's just a wonderful event. The first one had guests that were regional. I'm from the Rio Grande Valley, as well as statewide in Texas, as well as from all over the US, as well as places like the UK. So it was a worldwide event. And this event I am particularly excited for because this Right Crowd is showcasing the independent authors that will be attending the Storytellers and Legends Convention in February. So the Storytellers and Legends Convention is happening in Mission, Texas, in the Rio Grande Valley, February 20th through the 26th. And this is the first of its kind sort of literary event. It is a literary pop culture extravaganza because for an entire week, we will be celebrating books, independent authors, attending authors, but you get all the fun of a Comic-Con to have celebrity guests and voice actors, and it's just becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, and we're so very excited. And stay tuned to the end because I'm glad that this one popped up now. I have some really cool guest announcements that we have not posted it on Facebook yet. The Right Crowd is where you are first hearing about some of these attending authors, so I'm crazy excited. But we begin. I see some people giving us hearts on Facebook. Hello. And we have our first comment coming in. Elisa Shira, who is an author who will be featured tomorrow, says, good morning. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning.
Yes. So for anyone watching, if you'd like to leave a comment to say hello, if you'd like to ask a question, I will be interviewing the lovely Jackie Smith and Miracle Austin today. But if you have any questions, please feel free to comment and chime in. But now that we have an audience following on, I would like to ask you all to introduce yourself very quickly, and then we'll do a little bit more in-depth introduction. But starting with Miss Jacqueline Smith, tell hello to the world.
Hello, it's nice to meet y'all. I am tuning in from Dallas, Texas. I am the author of 14 books, including Cemetery Tours, Boy Band, and Shipwreck Girl. And I am just so excited to be back for the third year. And I love you, Katelynn. Yes. And Miracle, I love you too.
Jackie.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And Miss Miracle, please say hello to the world and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Miracle, and I'm so happy to be here again. The Right Crowd is amazing. And Katelynn, thank you so much for creating this platform for authors. So appreciate it. I am tuning in from Waco, Texas. I'm a young adult author. I'm a social worker in the medical field by day, and then I write at night when I'm not procrastinating or binging Netflix or Amazon Prime. And I have 4 books, Doll Trilogy, show you real quick, and a collection of short stories and poems. And I have a new one coming out late January, Fright Bites. So I'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yay!
I'm so excited.
Thank you.
I love
both. Thank you. So very excited. And so I will introduce myself again fairly quickly. Hello, everyone. My name is Katelynn Rentería. I am an author from the Rio Grande Valley in Deep South Texas. And I am the author of the young adult fiction novel, The Other Side of the Law, about a Texas girl. You see her on the street. She's just your average teenager, but in secret, she's a spy. So missions, adventures, stopping bad guys, taking names, all that stuff. And you will note that this is the Fangirls of Fiction panel. Because if you've ever met Jackie, Miracle, and I, you will know that we're quite big fans and proponents. So Jackie lists author and BTS fangirl. We'll talk a little bit about that more. Miracle lists author and Stranger Things and Wednesday fangirl. Lots of cool Netflix fandoms. And myself, I have author and anime fangirl, because if you know me, I love anime. But today I have to rep my DC shirt given to me by the lovely Miracle. Thank you. As well as my Batman earrings and my DC mug. So repping DC today, but have that anime title. And we just got another comment from Miss Patricia Renteria saying, "Good morning, beautiful ladies. You all are awesome."
Hi, Patty. We love you.
Patricia, love you. Thank you.
Thank you. So super, super excited to continue onward. Again, if you are watching, feel free to leave a comment, say hello. But we can go a little bit more in depth about our books. So beginning with Ms. Jackie Smith, please tell us a little bit about maybe one of your titles or multiple of your titles. I know you do photography as well. So this is your spotlight to talk about your books before we go into the actual questions.
Oh, well, thank you. So these are my young adult novels that I just showed you. So Cemetery Tours, it's either ghosts or boy bands. There's no in between. So we have Cemetery Tours as about a young man. He can see and talk to the dead. He's trying his hard to keep it a secret. A little bit of romance, a little bit of suspense, lots of ghost hunting. Mm-hmm. And then the boy band series is about a young lady who is in love with her best friend, who just happens to be a member of the world's hottest boy band. And believe it or not, I actually wrote it before my BTS era. I wrote it back in my One Direction days. And Shipwreck Girl goes along with that idea. It's about a ballerina. She sustains what she believes to be a career-ending knee injury until she auditions for a punk pop music video, which is something she would absolutely never do. And this is actually my newest release.
Awesome.
Exciting. And would you like to talk a little bit about your BTS fangirlness as well for any ARMY that might be watching?
So I have been ARMY for a little over a year now. Of course, I'm trying to get through their military days. It's been a struggle, but I know they're going to come back to us. I just love them for their positivity, their talent. They're just amazing. They are activists for, I can't even put into words. They're so much more than just musicians. And that's why I look up to them and admire them. And they're also really cute.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you so very much. So Miss Miracle, the spotlight is on you to talk a little bit more in depth about your titles, the new release, which I'm very excited for, as well as your fandoms and your fangirlness that you are representing today.
Okay. Well, my doll trilogy, basically it's a coming of age. It's a supernatural tale and lots of twists and turns. Gosh, what else can I say about it? It's just full of things that you wouldn't expect, and it's more than their covers. I cover a lot of different topics in those books. I mean, from being bullied and teen domestic violence and love triangles and loyalty and just so many different things. And then Boundless, it's a gumbo of short stories and poems, free verse mostly, and I cover everything from horror, supernatural, fantasy, drama, wounded tales, a little romance. So I really did enjoy writing this. And then my new one, this is not my cover. I'm saving that for release, and I'll be releasing that soon. But this is just a little promo. But basically, it's going to be 29 short stories in this volume, and this will be volume 1. I had a lot of fun writing Fright Bites. There's going to be some cool contests to come with it, so you definitely want to pay attention and keep tabs on Facebook, where I'll be posting those contests. So I'm having fun creating those too. So I'll be releasing this probably the end of January. Yes, the end of January, give or take. So anyhow, Jackie has seen the cover. Yeah. So Katelynn, I have to share that with you too. But anyhow, as far as my fandoms, huge Stranger Things fangirl. Jackie is as well. I fell in love with Stranger Things. I tell you what, when I first heard about it, a few years back on Netflix, I was like, "Ooh, that looks interesting," and I did not expect it to be the type of story to unfold, how it has, and the characters. Oh my gosh, it's just amazing. If you have not watched the Stranger Things series, I encourage you and recommend it highly. They are working on their last season. I am sad about it, but I know just like when we write our stories, ladies, everything has to come to an end. But the best thing, they're doing a spinoff. So I can't wait to see what they're going to do with it. And I think it's going to be amazing and exciting. So I'm just, so I'm anticipating that. And then my new fandom, I have several, but I'm just going to talk about these two today. Maybe talk about some others, depending on Caitlin's questions, is Wednesday, the Wednesday series. When I first heard about it, Tim Burton was directing, I was like, oh my gosh, that's going to be amazing. But I tell you what, it blew my mind. I was not expecting it to be as good as it is. And like I was telling Jackie and Katelynn the other night, I used to watch the Addams series when I was a little girl, the black and white version when it first came out. And it was okay. I liked it. But this here is just a different tale of how he's reimagined it and kept some, of the same elements, of course. And Thing, I never was a fan of Thing, but this Thing has so much emotion. Even though he's just a hand, you will see once you watch, you're like, oh my gosh, I love Thing. So anyhow, that's all I have to say for now.
I love it. Thank you so very much. And a little bit about myself in that realm. Yes, the young adult fiction novel that I have is The Other Side of the Law. Teen, spy, adventure, a little bit of romance, a little bit of, along the way, the main character is, the good guy, spy, balancing high school with missions and adventures and stuff. And then along the way, she meets a mysterious stranger who kind of takes her worldview of this is good, this is bad, this is the line between them, and sort of mixes it all up. And really fun, and I'd like to think it's interesting. But this story was inspired a lot by my love of DC and the characters that were in that, because actually I've always been a huge fan of the sidekicks of DC, like Robin and Kid Flash and Aqualad and all of them. So I grew up on Young Justice and Teen Titans. And so I loved that idea that, the high school kids, the kids were able to fight crime and do all those things too. And then I particularly love superheroes like, Batman for Marvel, like Iron Man. Yes, they're billionaires, so they have all the cool gadgets and cars and suits and stuff, but at the end of the day they're human, right? They don't have superpowers, but they're fighting people that are faster than them, smarter than them, stronger than them, superpowered and all that stuff, but they're going to fight the good fight and get it done because that's what they believe in. And so I took that, and that was sort of my spin for The Other Side of the Law, where the main character, she's just a high schooler. She's, a sophomore, but she's out here stopping bad guys, taking names, saving the world, and all that fun stuff. So I'm paying homage to my DC roots with that. But my banner lists anime fangirl because for those of you that know me, I am a huge anime fan. I've been very, very blessed and fortunate to do some anime conventions with Jackie, actually, when we'll go to the convention and I'm educating her on the anime ways. So I'm very excited. But yes, I think anime has some of the best storylines in media that I have consumed. And I love the fact that there's the manga, that you can read the manga, and then it comes to life in the anime where it's, frame by frame, panel by panel, exactly how the manga was. And, there's something for everybody. There's the sports. If you're into sports, there's romance, there's action, there's specific genres like isekai, where, someone gets transported to another world, and that's its own genre. And then like slice of life, where people just, have cool adventures in their everyday life. So
there's boy bands.
Yes, there's boy bands. Idolish 7. I have my ring. So there's a little bit of something for everybody. But yes, I'm super excited to be hosting this Fangirls of Fiction panel, because not only are we authors and writers and it's a lot of fun, but if you meet us and you speak to us, we can go on forever about the fandoms that we love and enjoy. We have a comment coming in from Mr. Michael Betancourt, who says, anime is a great treasure trove of so many genres and stories. Hi, Michael.
Hi, Michael.
Absolutely. I think it's that not hidden gem, because it's becoming more popular and I'm happy about that. But for people that may not be aware of it, there's literally something for everyone. It's not just, animation. There's literally, if you like the romance, there's that for you. You like science fiction, there's that for you. There's a show I'm watching where this world passes away and he awakens in another world. He's a pharmacist now, so he's like bringing modern medicine and everyone thinks it's magic. Like, there's literally the tiniest niches and something for everyone. So yes, but I'm excited to begin the panelist question and answer portion of this, The Right Crowd, Fangirls of Fiction. And to everyone watching, if you all have a question, you just want to say hello, you want to join in on the conversation, please leave a comment and join in. Michael Betancourt just mentioned another comment saying, good morning, ladies. I remember when I could only find anime at Blockbuster Video in the 90s. Now it's everywhere. And I love that. I love that it's on the mainstream streaming services. It's everywhere. I have my Funimation and Crunchyroll subscriptions on demand and all that stuff. So yes, I'm loving that it's a lot bigger. And then, Jackie has seen all the cosplay at the conventions, and it's so fun.
My little cousin has, I'm pretty sure, participated in the cosplay.
Yes, it's so fun. But yes, my first question for people that are just now tuning in, for all of us, would be, where are you tuning in from? And I am currently in deep South Texas in the Rio Grande Valley. And Jackie and Miracle, where are you all tuning in from?
I am from Dallas, Texas.
I am from Waco, Texas.
Yay! So this is the epic part about The Right Crowd that is particularly close to my heart, that, we're not here, but we're here. We can still connect and we can still talk to the readers and the writers and the audience from our own homes. It's cold outside, but we're still able to be here. I know we're still able to be here and say hi, which is a lot of fun. But as every story, we begin at the beginning. So starting with Miss Jackie, how did your journey as a writer begin?
I have been writing for fun my entire life. My earliest fan fiction I wrote when I was, 4. And I still have all the little Disney books that I put together. I think I wrote things like, Jafar is mean. Oh, well, 4, Aladdin wouldn't have been out just yet. But, around that age, 4 to 5, yeah, I was definitely writing my Disney fan fiction. As I got older, I started writing Harry Potter fan fiction. I mean, my entire life, I'm pretty sure I've just been writing fan fiction until my junior year of college, 2009. I got a really bad sinus infection over spring break, and so all I could do was lie on the couch and read a bunch of romance novels. And I just found myself thinking, I could do this, and I never looked back.
I love it. Thank you so very much for sharing. And Miss Miracle, where did your journey as a writer begin?
Well, I tell you, when I was in junior high, I used to write like poems that were awful, and I kept them in a little folder. But what really inspired my writing, believe it or not, it wasn't a book. It's been songs, song lyrics, because every song, no matter what genre, tells a story. So that really influenced my writing more than anything. And it's been a huge impact today with my writing. I create playlists for, if I'm writing a short story, I create a playlist for it, or my book, I create a playlist. And I know Jackie, we share that definitely similar playlist love. And I have to write with music, because music is just a big part of my writing, because that's what started me to want to write, because of those lyrics, those powerful lyrics. So especially the heartbreaking love songs. So, but yeah, so, and I just kind of wrote off and on. And of course, when you're in college and grad school, you're assigned to different writing assignments and essays and research papers. And, so, I didn't really think I was much of a writer back then. But when I was looking back, a few years ago, my sociology classes, I just remember when I would choose like different themes to write about. And And I just kind of like, wow, I really didn't know I was doing that on purpose. I wasn't doing it. So it's just amazing when you reflect when you didn't think you were, but you really were. So yeah.
When you also put all your cool playlists in the back of your books.
Yes.
Which I love. And actually, when you sent me your earlier books, you sent me soundtracks, and I still have them. Like, you burned me CDs.
No way!
You made me mix CDs, and I still have them.
Do you really?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You gotta take a picture. I want to see.
I need to, if I can find them.
That's okay. That's okay.
I know they're somewhere, like, they are somewhere in my old.
No, we got it. But I just love that.
I mostly listen to digital now, you know, on my iPhone. But I know they're still somewhere, like, where I keep all my old CDs.
Oh, I love that.
I do. And I do have a playlist for Fright Bites, and I plan to make it digital some way, somehow. Someone gave me a cool idea on my website, so I'll figure that out. So anyhow.
That's awesome. And I love that a lot, because it's true that, you know, writing is, of course, there's so many different mediums when you go to poetry, but then music, lyrics, and composure is just blows my mind, to where, you know, you match it to the music, you make it rhyme, and of course we hear these things and we cry, we laugh, we sing the yes BTS, the metaphors that are in them, you know, the imagery. It's just absolutely fantastic. But thank you for sharing, and oh my gosh, that's awesome to have like the little mixtape CD. That's epic. Oh, I love that so much.
How about you?
Oh, yes. Thank you. Yes, my journey as a writer began from a very young age. I was very blessed to have my parents be so supportive as they were. They would read me bedtime stories, and then I would write my stories also at the age of like 4. And so it was kind of funny to, you know, my first stories were like, the cat crossed the road and went to the store, and they were like, wow, good job. But, you know, that support was just an absolute blessing to be able to always, you know, if I wanted to go to the library, we went to the library. I wanted Hello Kitty notebooks for Christmas, I got Hello Kitty notebooks for Christmas. So I was writing from a very young age to sort of tell my stories. And then I got a little bit more serious about it beginning middle school, because in 5th grade, I entered a writing competition at the support of my 5th grade reading and language arts teacher. And so that was a different experience where I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but he pushed me to try and went to the practices, and I got first place in that writing competition. And that was the eye opener of like, oh my gosh, like I can do this, you know, like I can write something, people can read it, and we can do something with this. So when I was 14, a particular story picked at my mind, and I began to write and write and write and write. It grew and grew and grew. Finished the story when I was 15. And when I was 16 years old, a sophomore in high school, I'm very blessed to have published The Other Side of the Law. So the journey began from a very young age, and I'm very, very blessed to be where I am now, 6 years later, to have met such beautiful and wonderful people that share this, you know, love of writing and reading, and then to be in the position where I can have something, you know, like The Right Crowd, and we can all talk about our stories. This is just the first panel. We have 2 more today, 2 more tomorrow, 3 more tomorrow. So it's going to be lots of fun. And then this is in conjunction with the Storytellers and Legends Convention. And I'm going to talk more about it as the panel progresses. But it's the doors that have opened from this are amazing. Meeting the readers, going to the events, going to schools, going to libraries. It's been absolutely phenomenal. But I see our numbers climbing. So hello, everyone. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the comments. If you have a question, if you'd like to ask us a question, if you just like to say hello, please feel free to do so, and I can bring your comment up on screen. But my next question is going to have not a mixed response, but I feel like we do have different answers. But what is your current occupation, or are you a full-time writer? And how do you balance that with other things in your life? So Miss Jackie Smith, what's your occupation? Are you full-time? And if you are, then what other things do you do and balance writing and life and all those dynamics?
So I am a full-time author. I write every day. I spend at least a couple weekends of most months on the road going to different shows and book signings, which is so much fun. I've also been blessed these past few months to be able to be working with the Storytellers and Legends Convention. I've been helping put together our amazing team of indie authors, and I love you all so much, and I'm so excited for February. And let's see, like you mentioned, I'm also a photographer. I volunteer at the Dallas Zoo. I'm a freelance graphic designer, so if anyone wants a cover design, hit me up. And yeah, just kind of whatever opportunity comes my way, I like to take it.
I love it. Thank you so very much. And Ms. Miracle Austin, what is your occupation, and how do you balance, everything in life with writing?
Yes, thank you. I am, like I shared earlier, a social worker by day. I work in a rehab long-term care facility. Most of the residents there have dementia, Alzheimer's, or some type of cognitive communication deficit. So working in an environment like that is very intense. Deal with a lot of family issues on a constant basis, and so anyhow, writing, like I said, I write at night, evenings and weekends, when I'm not procrastinating, and it's definitely my therapeutic playground. So it's a nice balance, and it's a nice place for me to go after dealing with all those different issues, throughout the day. So I look forward to my writing, and matter of fact, when I take my breaks, I use that time to think of things that I'm going to write about, or ideas, or just things I'm going to do, just to try to be more creative. And it just relaxes me. So that's how I balance it. And then also having good friends like you and Jackie, that helps so much. And so anyhow, that's how I do it.
I love that. Thank you so very much. And for me, I'm like you, Miracle, where writing is not, the full-time gig, but I am an adjunct instructor of psychology. So I'm so very excited that I'm able to actually teach in a field that I enjoy. So psychology, different from writing, but that's my career. But I still do a lot with, the writing, freelance writing as well. And just, going to the events takes up a lot of time, but it's so fun and so very rewarding to visit the schools, visit the libraries, participate in the events. And like Jackie mentioned, it's been such a blessing these past few months to actually be working with the Storytellers and Legends Convention, to actually be, recruiting the indies, looking at floor plans, like getting into the real, nuts and bolts and gears of the convention. And so it's such a blessing. And again, I'm so happy to be doing it alongside Jackie, one of my favorite people, and then to recruit indies and include people like Miracle and have it be so awesome. So yes, I usually write at night as well, like Miracle. It's I feel like there have been times where we'll just sort of message and text, and then people are like, how do I say this? Like, we'll be messaging and it'll be like 3 a.m, and for us that's like normal, and then everyone else is like, "What are you doing awake?" It's like, I'm writing. Like that's the time. That is how it all works. But yes, it's a lot of fun to sort of, throughout the day as ideas come, just jot them down real quickly, and then nighttime is really where they flourish of, the night owl writing scheme. But it is a lot of fun, and I'm very excited and blessed that the doors have opened to so many other avenues. But we have a comment coming in from Miss Shayna Lively on YouTube saying hello. So again, to anyone watching, if you'd like to say hello, if you'd like to ask a question, if you'd like to drop a comment, please feel free to do so. I can bring it up and we can continue the conversations. But my next question to you all will be pertaining to the Storytellers and Legends Convention. So the Storytellers and Legends Convention is the Rio Grande Valley's first literary pop culture event. And for those of you just tuning in, I'm glad that the Storytellers and Legends Convention logo is up. I'm so very excited because this is the first literary pop culture event in that we are bringing, books and authorship and all of these things to the Rio Grande Valley in a way that it is going to be family-friendly, education-oriented entertainment. So like a Comic-Con, you will have celebrities, you will have voice actors, you will have all of these amazing people that we're going to be able to meet. But there will also be writers, screenwriters, authors, musicians, video game developers, illustrators, just all of this epic, celebration of the arts. So since this is the first literary pop culture experience, I wanted to ask you all, have you ever been to a Comic-Con before? And if you have or have not, have you ever been to anything like this? Is this, within the realm of, oh yeah, I go all the time, or is this something like, no, this is totally new, totally epic? So starting with Jackie.
Well, Katelynn, you and I have done Comic-Cons together. So yes, I've actually been doing Comic-Cons, gosh, since I want to say 2000, either 15 or I think 2015 or 16. So I have been actually all over the country with Comic-Cons. I recently went to Salt Lake City FanX, which, oh my gosh, I thought the ones in like Dallas and Houston were big. Oh my gosh, Salt Lake City is like 2 times the size of that. You have to walk like a mile just to reach the celebrities. It's insane. Maybe not an actual mile. That would get very winded if I had to do that, but it was bigger than anything I've ever seen as far as, space, as far as how big the center was. And I love going to Comic-Cons. They're so much fun because you get to meet like-minded people. Everyone there is passionate and excited about something, and you're just completely free to love what you love. And I think that is so cool. And if you had told me growing up, I was a little science nerd. I love biology. I loved animals. I never once. Of course, I loved Harry Potter, but I still didn't really consider myself like a fandom nerd, even though I grew up, again, loving Disney and living Harry Potter. But if you had told me, in high school that, oh yeah, one day your career is basically going to be going to Comic-Cons and even now working a Comic-Con, I never would have believed you. But no, as far as the Storytellers and Legends Convention go, I've never seen anything like this. One that focuses primarily on storytelling, and one that really loves its indie authors so much. I mean, I've worked Comic-Cons, don't get me wrong. I've worked Comic-Cons that treat their vendors, their artists, like kings and queens, and that is amazing. But there has never been one that focuses specifically and makes like the indie authors. It's like, hey, you guys are just as much of cool guests as, say, one of our guests who has been announced is Mr. Tab Murphy, and he is in the Oscar-nominated screenwriter of. And here, let me see. I have his posters on my wall. Oh, look at that! Atlantis, Hunchback of Notre Dame, Brother Bear, and Tarzan. And yes, I'm sitting on my bed. Sorry, it's messy. But it's so cool that we get to be there with him and be treated just like yeah. It's just, oh my gosh, it's gonna be amazing. I can't even put it into words.
Thank you, and I echo your sentiments of excitement because it's just phenomenal. But Miracle, have you ever been to a Comic-Con before? And if you have you ever seen anything like the Storytellers and Legends Convention?
Katelynn, I have been to a few. I cannot compete at all with Jackie. Jackie definitely she's a Comic-Con princess. It's amazing where she travels to. I'm like, wow, and I just love just hearing about her experiences and just her posts and sharing them. I just love it. So, and I know
we did Comic-Palooza together.
Yes. And so, yes, I have been to a few. And I am so excited to be an attendee for Storytellers and Legends Convention. And no, Katelynn and Jackie, I've never heard of a convention that centers and uplifts independent authors like the one that y'all are creating. So I am humble and so appreciative to be a part of something so amazing. And I believe with all my heart that this is going to grow and just become the most magnificent experience that anyone can have. So I can't wait. I'm so excited. And yeah, so no, this will be the first time I've ever experienced, and it's going to be amazing. And I hope whoever's on and whoever watches later, I hope y'all come and experience this as well. It's just going to be outstanding. So I'm very, very grateful.
Thank you. And again, I can only echo the sentiments. I've my rapport of, you know, just going to Comic Cons is nowhere near as long as Jackie's, but it's so amazing that she's always, you know, posting and saying like, oh, Jackie's here, Jackie's here, Jackie's here, to, you know, be traveling and all that is phenomenal. I went to a few Comic Cons as just, you know, the fan to meet the guests and the celebrities and stuff, and then Jackie was the one who introduced me to vendorship and, you know, actually going as an author and having the booth, and that's so fun. And so I feel like just me going as the fan was an experience to, you know, oh, these celebrities are here, these guests are here, and the ones that I've been to have been in the Rio Grande Valley, and the ones in particular that I've been to have been, you know, the anime ones, like Anime Fiesta and things like that. But Harlingen Fan Convention was phenomenal. John Wesley Shipp came, and I just melted onto the floor of how wonderful that was. And so Morphin Mania was another one here in Harlingen that I very much enjoyed, and it was such a wonderful experience. I went to both of those as a vendor, Harlingen Fan Convention with Jackie, and then Morphin Mania was another fun event. So I have a bit of experience and, you know, gaining the, I guess, you know, what is it, resume of going. But no, like, again, this is something that I have never seen before. Even me, you know, looking at things like San Diego Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con, right? Like, I follow them because of the celebrities that are there, but never have I seen something that is going to be this big literary based that also ties in that pop culture to where the students and audience members are still going to be able to meet the celebrities, but it's educational to where, there we go, they're going to learn about the, you know, the authors, the screenwriters, the illustrators, video game developers, the composers, and it's absolutely fantastic. And I think in size, the closest we could get to something like this is in like Austin. And then again, the fact that this is literary pop culture is the first of its kind for the Rio Grande Valley. And this place is so filled with, you know, culture and talent and the love for reading and writing. And so, again, very blessed that Jackie and I get to, you know, have our hand in this fantastic event to continue to bring this. And then again, the independent authors as well, to show that, you know, you can have your, you know, job cap by day and then a writer cap by night, and then, or you can make this your full-time career like Jackie does. You can be on the road for Comic Cons. You can be sharing your stories, making it wonderful. So it's always a lot of fun. And we have another comment from an author who will be on at 12 noon today. Mr. Goumet Laurel III says, hi. Hi, Goumet. Again, if anyone watching likes to say hello, would you like to ask a question or maybe chime in? This conversation is an open dialogue. If you leave a comment, I can pull it up and we can engage in conversation that way. So my next question to you all would be, what is the goal of your books or written works? I know a lot of times the goal is just, I want to write about this. And so and a story comes and it flows. But is there, you know, a message that you like to portray through all of your stories or through one book in particular? Or, you know, what is the goal or message that you'd like to get across to readers or to the people that consume what you write? And Jackie, I see you thinking. So we can start with you or we can go to Miracle. But whoever would like to take the question.
Okay, I'll go first. Sure, Jackie, no problem. I'll let you contemplate more with that simmering, that beautiful mind of yours. For me, Katelynn, I tell you what, I love to share my stories, and I hope it makes an impact with my readers. One thing that I do love, and I do it intentionally, I like to plant morals in my stories. I won't say I do it with every story, but I do it with the majority of them, so that person who's reading can take something from it and think about it and just like, wow, you know, I never thought of something like that, or I never knew about that. So I do that, and I think that's probably the social worker inside of me that pushes that more. But I just love just to create magic whenever I can, and I love when a reader sends me a private message, not even just a review. I love reviews, but when they just send you that special message, you know, that you get, and you're like, wow, that's why I'm writing. That's why I keep writing. I got one the other day from a reader who, well, from a person, and was not a reader. And because, you know, he chose to pick up my book, he said, you know what? I never would have probably went back to reading, because your story impacted me so much. So things like that, that's what makes it so worth it. And that's why I continue, and it gives me my fuel. So I thank you out there, my readers and my future readers. So there.
I love it. Heart is full. Thank you so very much for sharing. And Jackie, do you have a goal or a message that you like to portray either through your writing or just, the act of making books, writing stories, such and such?
See, that was a really good answer. And I do have to say, Miracle, you don't make magic, you are magic. That is something I realized about you the very first moment I met you and decided to attach myself to your hip. I just kind of decided that we were friends. That's how we met at a book event. But see, as for me, most of my books, I'll say, I feel like my motives are very selfish, actually. I write the books that I want to read. Most of my books are pure entertainment, with the exception of my very first book, which is Cemetery Tours. I actually did not start writing this to publish it. I started writing it to make myself feel better after a personal loss. And the whole point of the Cemetery Tours series is to hopefully give some assurance that life does continue after our loved ones are gone, after we're gone. And again, I really didn't intend to ever publish it. I just started writing it to make myself feel better and to give myself some assurance. But then I ended up liking it. So I thought, oh, what the heck? I'll publish it. And now I'm working on the 5th book in the series. So yeah, you never know. You never know what will come of your projects that you're working on.
Yes, and I think just that is a testament to, the goal, I suppose, where, we write because it's what we want to write, right? But then just the act that, you've started with one for you and now you're on 5, that in itself is a message to, you never know what might come about. And then just to be able to share the stories, people continue to love them and receive from them. And then it's just, the realm of writing grows. People are able to see, wow, she's full time doing this. And it's very fantastic. And I think for me, it's similar where, I wrote the story that I wanted to write about, a high school girl that's young people could, I guess, see themselves in, where, yes, she has, the normal life, high school and such, but look at these amazing things that she does with no powers, no this fantastical stuff, that's the primary thing that I consume, superheroes and superpowers and stuff. But look at this normal person who can still do amazing things. And so I think that was a message that I wanted to portray, where it doesn't matter how old you are or where you come from or what it is that you want to do. If you believe in yourself with the hard work and the dedication, you can get it done. And then, yes. And then, so I also try to showcase that in the presentations and things that I do, where, never, similar to what Jackie has says, never did I think, little me with writing my little Hello Kitty notebook stories and going to the libraries on the weekend. Never did I think we would be, published with an online literary expo, working a literary pop culture convention. Like, this has been so much more than I could have ever hoped and dreamed of. And it's been absolutely fantastic. But again, happy to be have met you all and continue to share the story and share the love of writing and reading, and it's always amazing. But my next question for you all would be, for aspiring writers and aspiring authors, do you have any advice for them? Either someone who is wanting to write, or maybe they have written and they want to publish. You can answer from any of those dynamics, aspiring writers or aspiring authors.
Wow, I'm getting like, I'm in the hot seat. I love it. I think for aspiring writers, I would encourage you all to read, not just read what you love, because I love horror and supernatural things, but I like to read other things too. And I encourage you to read everything, because the magic in that, you never know where you're going to, birth an idea, For example, when Stephen King wrote Carrie, oh my gosh, I love Stephen King. Jackie and Caitlin. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he read an article in a magazine, and then he took the idea that he already had and he connected those, so that's why I say it's so important. And like, I'm talking about like newspaper articles, magazines, just read the comic books, anything, because you just never know where it's going to come, and you'll be amazed. And you don't have to write it right then. You can just keep a list or a notebook, or if you put it in your on your phone and notes, whatever you use, keep that, because you never know when you're going to write that story and that story is going to come alive. And I say, conventions, attend those, talk to authors who's been there, done that, and they can give you so much wonderful, beautiful advice. I remember when I attended book festival a few years back, and I didn't know anything about the writing world. And this one author, she took the time to just talk to me just for a few minutes and gave me her contact information. And I don't think I really contacted her that much, but I maybe sent her one email. But just the fact that she took the time, and that just made the biggest difference for me. So that's what I would encourage you to do. And if you're watching, or if a friend is watching, definitely attend, Storytellers and Legends Convention. You're going to meet so many amazing authors, and I encourage you to do that, because you will be very moved, and the resources that you'll take away will be invaluable.
Thank you. I love that so very much, especially with the Storytellers and Legends Convention. That's the goal, to present the authors, the illustrators, the screenwriters, the video game developers, the composers, and that have the resources to inspire youth and students, but also people of any age, fans of any age, that you can pursue this. It can be something that you can create and you can give to the world and share your creativity and your awesomeness and your stories, and continue to make the writing world and the world of the arts that much more enriched and amazing. But
go ahead.
Oh yes, no, go.
No, I just want to say one quick thing before Jackie shares. When I started really writing seriously, and published my first book, I thought I was too old, because I was in my mid-40s. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so old, but I want to tell you, you're never too old to start a dream. So keep that in mind, whether you're, 10 years old or 90, do it.
I'm gonna need to get the copyright for that and put it on a frame and have that shipped to you and put everywhere of, just, you're never too old to start a dream. I absolutely love that. I feel like there's always so many good quotes that come from the Right Crowd panels, and I feel a lot of them have come from you as well, Miracle. They're always so amazing, and I absolutely love that.
Thank you, Katelynn.
But yes, Miss Jackie, for any aspiring writers or aspiring authors, what advice do you have for them?
I kind of want to go off of what Miracle just said. And it's when I first started telling people, oh, I want to write books, I would get, okay, what do you want to do for a job? Okay, but what do you want to do to make money? If you tell anyone, or it does, and it's not even limited to, writing. My sister is a musician. Right now, she's a professional Christmas caroler. And when she told people she was getting her master's degree in vocal performance, people would be like, well, what are you going to do with that? Oh, you're never going to make a living, singing. You're never. And one thing I want to tell people is, making a living, you can still do something for the love of it. Why do we make everything in this world about, oh, how do you make money? Money is not the most important thing in this world. So remember that. And, just, you're always going to be met when you follow your passion, when you follow your heart, if it's writing, if it's singing, if it's acting, if it's, drawing, whatever, if it's cosplay, people are going to say, well, why are you doing that? Why are you wasting your time? And, all I can say is, don't let the muggles get you down. Keep following your heart, keep doing what you love. It's going to be hard some days. It is going to be hard to keep up when there's doubt. There's doubt coming from outside. There's doubt coming from inside. I know I've definitely had my days of self-doubt, but the world needs your story. The world needs your project. And just keep going. That's my advice, is keep going.
I'm gonna need another one of those on the frame. Of just keep going, because it's. I feel like it's very true, and my answer I feel stems from both of you all's, where, for aspiring writers that may never have, they want to begin writing, or they have their story but they're not quite sure, how to continue on. It can be difficult to get what you want up here and in your heart to on paper, but practice and practice. And then like Miracle had said, I feel like one of the best resources we have are other books and other writers, where, if I want to write fantasy, then read fantasy and see how, other stories are created, and, some of your favorite series, how does that, how did they evoke those emotions? How did they portray that scene? And so learning by consuming other media. And then again, the writing community, these two wonderful people are some of my closest and best friends. And it was because of writing and reading and the book conventions and things. And so we are here to help and lend a helping hand. We are always willing to answer questions at conventions, things like this. And then as well as, our websites and such, like Miracle had said, if you send an email or anything related, we absolutely are, the doors open to help and assist, because we want more to be, more writers to be realm in this world, and continue to enrich with your stories and your written works. And for people who are aspiring authors, where you have it, you're pursuing it, there's a lot of different methods to be published. I know us as independent authors, we are self-published, and oftentimes we also go to traditional publishers, and those are two different avenues that are still very valid. But just take the leap. It's scary to get the rejection letter, and it's scary to get, the tweaks, or maybe it's not that popular, or you do get published and then you're number 300,760, 400 on the Amazon lit. Like it can be a bit difficult when you don't get the reviews, when you don't, feels like you're at a standstill. But the second you publish, that book is out in the world, and you never know that one person that might find it and love it and connect with it, and that may have been just what they needed. So it's just taking the leap and going for it, and it's always been so rewarding, and just an amazing career. But we have a YouTube comment coming in from Tamar saying, "Hi, Jackie."
Hi! Oh my gosh! Thank you for tuning in. Tamar's from the Netherlands.
Really? We are hitting worldwide viewership.
Yes!
Hello.
Tamar, that is where you live, right? No, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Nice.
Feel free to correct me.
No, that's fantastic. And that is what I love about this, that, we're in different places in Texas, because Texas is so big. It would take it was a thing in and of itself. But we're in different cities, able to connect with people from all over, and it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So again, to anyone out there on Facebook or YouTube Landia, if you have a question, please feel free to ask now. I am going to ask the last question before we wrap up with final thoughts and things. I know our time is coming to an end on this kickoff panel, but again, if you'd like to say hello, if you'd like to ask a question, please feel free to do so. And my final question for you all pertains again to the Storytellers and Legends Convention, with the theme of this panel. So, since the Storytellers and Legends Convention is a literary pop culture extravaganza, are there any works that you are a fan of in particular? And we talked about this in the beginning, where, Jackie mentioned BTS, and Miracle mentioned, Stranger Things and Wednesday. But if there's other media like book series or movie series or comic series that, you would like to talk about, feel free to do so, starting with Miss Jackie.
Well, I love Stranger Things, just like Miracle. Once again, big Disney fangirl, which is why I'm so excited to get to be working with Tab Murphy at the Storytellers and Legends Convention. I mean, I love books. I love, the most recent book that I read was the fourth book in the Ren Fair series by Miss Jen DeLuca. It was phenomenal. I've already read it twice. Oh, and I can't believe I forgot about this. My other big fandom besides BTS, Twilight. I was able to actually go to the Forever Twilight Festival this year. It was the coolest thing ever. I don't care what anyone says. Twilight forever.
I love it. Thank you so very much. And Miss Miracle, are there any, fandoms or works that you are a fan of apart from the ones that we've mentioned already?
Oh gosh, there's several. Caitlin, goodness, Vampire Diaries, series, iZombie series. Gosh, there's so many. Gosh, I'm gonna go back a little bit. I don't know if anybody knows what I'm talking about. It was it's back in the 80s. It was a series about these aliens who looked just like you and me, but they turned out to be reptilian and they were not for the good of humankind. And I love that series so much. And they redid it, rebooted it. It was okay, but there's nothing like the series. And Robert Englund was one of the aliens, and he was so nice in this version. So I love that. I have so many. And as far as books, oh my gosh, of course, Stephen King. My favorite book, probably of all time by King, is Carrie. And in fact, I will tell you this. Even though I love the book, I love the original Carrie movie that was made in the 70s more so. And then the last one that was made not too long ago, a few years back, those are my favorites. So I have several, and I love it. I love watching new things. I love anime. Like Katelynn, she's taught me a lot. I'm learning a lot. Death Note series, I love that. That was really good. And there's some other ones that I have planned to watch in my hold box to watch soon. But I love so much, and I'm open to watch anything. I love it. I love a lot of martial arts. Cobra Kai. Oh my gosh, Karate Kid girl. Love, love, love. Ralph Macchio was probably one of my first crushes, and Ricky Schroeder from Silver Spoon. So I have a lot of them. So we could probably just have a whole talk about that. But those are a few. So.
Very nice. I love it. And I know for me, I also have quite a few series that are just, the list is never ending. But for books in particular, I fell in love with the I Am Number 4 series, and there was a movie, and I would love to see that continued or rebooted or however it would like to be. But that series is phenomenal, and I think that was one of the first series I read that had like 10 plus books plus the spinoff. That's really made me fall in love with as much media as I can consume about like a single thing. I loved it, and I feel like that's what segued. One of the things I really love about anime too is, you can watch the show, but there's also the manga with 1,000,001 more details. And then there's like the little, character stuff, and there's always official art. There's always interview. There's always there's everywhere you turn, there's still media to consume about the characters that you love. And
Uh-oh.
Little pause. We have a pause, y'all.
Yep.
It's okay. She's coming back.
oh no. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You just.
We can hear you now. You just paused.
We just had a slight pause.
Oh, okay. So sorry. I'll check the internet after this.
It's usually my internet, so you're good.
But yes, I don't know where I was, but a lot of anime love, like sports anime. I love Bungo Stray Dogs, which is an anime about the characters are based off of real authors. Japanese writers as well as American authors, British authors, which is fantastic. And so, the I Am Number 4 series was a big love of mine. And then one that I particularly love in both of its mediums is the Maze Runner series, because I read the books by James Dashner. There's still the prequels and stuff, and I fell in love with that. It was such a well-written, and you love the characters. And I love the movies that the director, Wes Ball, the first movie aligns with the books and the others do not, but they were just done so well that you can enjoy both in equal measure and appreciate their storytelling, even though it's based on the same characters. The story, diverts, but the root is there, and it's just so well done. And I feel like that's my favorite ever, where the movie was adapted and is like, oh, is it like the book? No, but it's just as good. And it's just as, the storyline is absolutely phenomenal. But we had some more comments coming in. Tamar continued and said, I wish I knew sooner. Love that I know real published writers. That is just so awesome. Thank
Love you, Tamar. You're amazing.
Yes. And we have another author, Ana Cavazos, who will be on today at 3, saying hello, ladies. Hi, Ana. Thank you for tuning in. And Miracle, when you were mentioning iZombie and all of those, she said, yeah, the V. Nice.
Wow.
Connection.
I was going to tell you, I wanted to share something with y'all.
Yes.
You mentioned James Dashner, the Maze Runner series.
Yes.
Let me tell y'all, before I even had a book published, I attended Austin Teen Book Fest. And this is when James Dashner was going to be one of the featured panelists with 2 other authors. No, he was the featured. Maybe it's a keynote. Okay, yeah, he was a keynote. And I remember being really early and going into the room, and it was a huge, like, an auditorium, and there was like a platform, a stage, and there was a table, and there were like 3 chairs. And so I knew the other authors would be in that room as well later on. And I remember just kind of just taking it all in and walking near the stage. And I told myself, and I guess it was just like, I don't know if I planted a seed to myself or not, but I told myself, one day I want to be in something like this. I want to be sitting at a table and telling my story. And so I just kind of captured that. And I remember Steve Harvey talking about, I don't know what he called it. Was it a dream board? I can't remember what it was, but he said, no, if you get your ideas and you put them on like, a poster board, whatever those dreams are, and whether it's like you're cutting out pictures or just writing them, just reflect on that. And I remember doing a little one. I said, that's what I want to do. So when you said that, it just ignited that memory. So I just want to share.
I love that. And I love that connection can be made. We love the media and we love the stories and we love the characters. And so we go and we learn about it and we celebrate it. And then that sparks the interest and we pursue our dreams. And then the thought that someone can be inspired from us in the way that we were from others is, oh my gosh, that makes the heart very warm. And it's just a wonderful, fantastic feeling. But we have another comment that came in from Ana Cavazos when I was talking about the series of great series. I am number 4, Maze Runner. Yes, I feel we all are very good fans of young adult fiction and the whole sci-fi aspect that becomes a part of it, which is fantastic. But
Hunger Games.
Yes, Hunger Games.
Yes.
I recently rewatched all of the movies in order this past week. My brother and I were like, let's watch Hunger Games. I was like, okay. So just watch
Okay, but can we talk about how I am so picky when it comes to books and movie adaptations, but those movies are about as close to perfect as you can get. Right. They were so amazing.
And Jackie gifted me the first Hunger Games. I will be reading that. I have 2 more books to read, but that is next. So just FYI. Thank you, Jackie. That's right.
Yay! Sharing the love of books and reading. And that's always so fun too, when you have friends that you can make the connection with, where you should read this, you should watch this, you should listen to this. And then it just, it's one of the best things. But to anyone on Facebook or YouTube Landia, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. We are over the hour mark, but it has been so much fun to add y'all's comments on the screen. Of course, it's always a pleasure. Jackie and Miracle, you guys are fantastic friends and absolutely love to talk and just fangirl on the Fangirls fiction, and it's so great. Elisa Shira is saying, can't wait for 3:00 tomorrow. Yes, thank you, Elisa. So this was just the first panel of The Right Crowd. This is the kickoff panel at 10. We have science fiction edition at 12 noon. Then we have a children's book nook at 3:00. And tomorrow we have fantastical finds about fantasy authors at 10. We will have a video feature panel where some authors weren't able to tune in live, but they did send me videos, so I will be showcasing their videos. And then at 3:00 with Miss Elisa Shira and some other fantastic authors, we will wrap up The Right Crowd with a novel experience. And Elisa Shira says, you guys are the best. So for the support. But it's so fantastic, and it's been so much fun. And for those of you that came in halfway through, you're here at the end. I would just like to reiterate, I love that this is here. It's perfect. I would just like to reiterate how amazing the Storytellers and Legends Convention is going to be. And it's just going to be phenomenal, where this is the Rio Grande Valley's first literary pop culture event. So it's combining the reading and the writing with the pop culture experience of a Comic-Con to meet celebrities and voice actors. But what makes this event special is that this is absolutely a passion project. Jackie and I feel like we have been very excited and just so blessed to be able to be in this capacity where we love writing, we love reading, but now we're actually working the Comic-Con and doing all of those fantastic stuff. And so I think one of our members of the team, as we work on it, is saying, this is by book geeks for book geeks. Like this is coming truly from a place in our heart because we love the media, we love the authors, and we're able to present it and showcase it. And again, the closest that we can get to an event like this is probably Austin. And so that this is going to be in the Rio Grande Valley for all of the students, the fans, the readers. It's right here in our backyard in our nice little pocket of Deep South Texas. So it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. And again, the goal of this event is to show that, you can pursue a career in the arts. You can be an author. You can be an illustrator. You can compose music for movies. You can make video games. You can make all of this amazing, fantastic things. And I'm very excited because we will be covered for a moment. But I have it back here behind me. But these are never before seen promo images that this is the Rio Grande Valley's first literary pop culture experience. Storytellers and Legends Convention in Mission, Texas, taking place February 20th through the 26th. We will have authors. We will have screenwriters, musicians, illustrators, celebrities, voice actors, video games and video game developers, and more. And I am incredibly excited because, drum roll, please. There are some featured guests that we have announced on the Facebook page, but this is the first time we are naming some names. And so get ready. The Storytellers and Legends Convention will feature authors such as Mr. R.L. Stein of the Goosebumps series, as well as Dal Pilkey on the author of Captain Underpants and Dogman. We will have Max Bralier from The Last Kids on Earth. We will have Alejandro Ochoa of Esquinkles, an illustrator from Mexico. We will have the Chiodo brothers who made Killer Clowns from Outer Space. We will have John Massari, who composed the music for Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And we will have Tab Murphy, who wrote Disney movies such as Tarzan, Brother Bear, Atlantis, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. So very excited that this event is going to be phenomenal, where we are combining the literature aspect with people like R.L. Stein and Tab Murphy and Dav Pilkey and Max Bralier and Alejandro Ochoa, and mixing it with that illustrators like Alejandro Ochoa, but the video games for the Chioda brothers, the music for John Massari, the screenwriting for Tab Murphy, and again, showcasing independent authors as well, where we have our other careers sometimes. You can make it full-time, but it's just a humongous celebration, and I cannot wait to continue to showcase all these things. Ana Cavasso says, fun to watch. I love the enthusiasm. We couldn't have better leaders. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna.
That means so much. And Patricia Renteria says, you ladies are enriching opportunities for our South Texas and RGV students and communities to dream big. You all are a true inspiration. Thank you.
We love you, Patty.
Thank you. And Ana Cavasso says, yay, R.L. Stein. Yes, we've got Goosebumps, we've got Captain Underpants and Dogman. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. But before we say goodbye, I would like to know, where can we find you all, Jackie and Miracle, after this? Is there social media where we can find you? Is there any other place where, if they want to find your books, if they want to learn more about you, where can we find you following this Right Crowd panel?
You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter, although I don't recommend it because all I do is post about BTS. You can find me reluctantly on TikTok. I'm not very good at it, but I'm learning. And you can find
good one.
Huh?
You've done some good TikTok, especially that Stranger Things.
That was like my only good one. That was the only good one. The other one that got really popular was like the one of my cat rolling around in a shoe.
Nice.
But you can find my books on Amazon.com. You can read my 7 main titles on Kindle Unlimited. And if you go to my link tree down there, oh, and I also have a Redbubble shop. So if you want to,
yes,
buy
great
a mug with my photography on it.
Beautiful.
Oh, here we go. Hang on. I gotta plug this.
Oh,
Look
that's
at
gorgeous.
this blanket with my book cover.
I love it.
That is the kind of person I am, y'all. This
Beautiful.
I love it.
I do too.
Go to my link tree down there.
Yes. Thank you so much. And Miss Miracle, where can we find you after this?
Just like Jackie, Facebook, Miracle Austin Author, Instagram or Twitter, and right there. I know. Thank you, Katelynn, for posting that at Miracle Austin 7. My website, www.miracleaustin.com. Definitely reach out. I definitely follow back, and just like Jackie was sharing, her Redbubble shop is amazing with all of her book merch and photography books and her photography. I encourage you, if you have not figured out the right Christmas gift for someone, definitely go to her Redbubble shop, go to her Amazon, buy her books. Katelynn, go to Amazon and buy her books.
Go to buy Miracle's books.
Yes.
Thank y'all. They make great gifts, not just for Christmas, but any time of the year. So yeah, that's right. So if you need that last minute gift, boom, that's where you go, Amazon, and look up the ladies. So gifted.
Thank you so very much. And I will be here for the remainder of the panels. But again, if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much. All of these panels are being streamed live on my Facebook, author Katelynn Rentería. And on YouTube, you can find this year's The Right Crowd, last year's The Right Crowd, the year before that, The Right Crowd. And so all sort of different panels with amazing guests, literary and otherwise, which has been absolutely fantastic. And then my link tree as well, that has access to my Facebook, my Twitter, my YouTube. I have a psychology podcast. Like there's a lot of different things that you can go and see and reach. So it's a lot of fun. And I would also like to give a shout out to the Storytellers and Legends Convention Facebook pages, where if you would like to know more about this convention, like to see the guests, watch us introduce ourselves on our cool videos, learn more about where it's going to be, everything that's happening, you can go to Facebook. It's Storytellers and Legends Convention. And the Facebook URL is facebook.com/StorytellersLegendsCon. But again, we will all be there at the Storytellers and Legends Convention happening in February of 2023 in Mission, Texas. And so very excited again to be alongside such amazing authors, amazing literary guests, composers, video games, and then, of course, the other independent authors that we absolutely love and are going to be sharing our stories and our written works. And it's going to be absolutely so fun. But thank you to everyone on Facebook and YouTube for tuning in. It was absolutely fantastic to have your comments, to share these stories, and stay tuned. The Right Crowd is just kicking off. This was our first panel of today. We have Science Fiction Edition coming up at 12 noon. We have Children's Book Nook at 3 p.m. And tomorrow we have 3 more panels, again at 10, 12, and noon. So the party's just getting started. But thank you all, and we will see you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Katelynn.